Are we live? We're live.
We are live. There we are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You're gonna have to mute that because it's got feedback. So, Davey, how the hell are you, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing
Looking
good,
cool,
man.
man.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm here. So, anyway, guys, yeah, 1 second. We got a mild technical difficulty we have to rectify. All right, there we go. I was hearing myself twice, which everybody knows I would get way too confused and not be able to do this. So, Davey, how the hell are you, buddy?
Good. Tired.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
been, a lot of travel
A
lately.
lot of travel. Yeah, you just were in Europe like literally 2 days ago.
Yeah. I was in
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Yeah. So, everybody, thank you and welcome aboard. Welcome to Cypherpunk 2024 VIP. So anyone that's wondering, they'll ask questions. They'll say, "Well, Cypherpunk isn't that in Fort Lauderdale?" Yes, we'll be having another Cypherpunk in February.
Yep.
That's the big one. That's the coup de grace. This is more geared forward toward Bitcoin 2024. We've got lots of people that are coming and attending. We've got lots of some speakers and a live band, and I think we even have a meal tonight. They said they're going to feed us, right?
I hope so. Because
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
hope
prep
so.
anything.
I hope so too.
Otherwise, I'll have some Chick-fil-A. And
Yeah.
It's Monday, so we can have some Chick-fil-A.
Absolutely. Well, he loves Chick-fil-A. We know that. First of all, I want to say welcome everybody. If you couldn't make it to Bitcoin 2024, we're super excited for it to get kicked off. Flux is here representing. We want to make sure that we are bringing to the masses exactly how important decentralization is. So, just real quick, Davey, what are you seeing so far? Like, what do you think we're going to see here? I mean, we're literally on the precipice of seeing two presidential candidates on stage talking about Bitcoin adoption.
Yeah, I hear RFK is coming.
Yep.
And then the other guy, what's his name again?
Trump, Donald Trump. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, Trump.
Yeah.
The fact that there's two candidates here is already big, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That shows that people are starting to really
Warm up.
to Bitcoin. A lot of maxis, of course, and we're the altcoin here. So, but I'm loving it. Bitcoin Miami is always fantastic. Now in Nashville, amazing venue here. Just look behind us.
Yeah, it's a good setup. I think it's a different mix-up from Miami.
Yep.
I think it's going to be kind of fun to see how this plays out. I mean, right out here, we're on Broadway. You've got bands playing all the way down the road.
Even downstairs here, there's a band playing right now. Like, it's amazing.
You got Bitcoin murals everywhere and stuff like that. And, Granddaddy Bitcoin, who's, Flux obviously fork of Bitcoin. It's important to see these things happen. I'm really curious to start talking to people about what the next iteration of the decentralization and technology is, because getting adoption is one thing, but propelling it into the next round of adoption is even more important.
That's
and I think
what
you're
I'm looking forward as well this week. I'm hoping to see a lot more, making it more public instead of just pure for the maxis. I'm hoping to see more adoption vehicles being created for people to start using Bitcoin as is. So Lightning is great and all that, but I'm hoping to see them reaching out to the mainstream as well.
Yeah. Well, you would think sitting here at Bitcoin 2024, two presidential candidates coming on the stage to speak. You're going to have Vivek Ramaswamy here as well. You're going to have other senators and Congress people, and you're going to have people coming in. You would think that I'd be absolutely ecstatic about where we're at in the blockchain space, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not. I'm not ecstatic. We actually are in a really difficult transition period right now, and people need to really think about this. The degens out there that love their meme coins and their shit coins, they're going to have to get back on board to get us to the next level of adoption, because getting us here is one thing, getting us forward is a completely different one. So I am not resting, and I do believe this is why Flux is important, because it starts to bridge these gaps. All the compute resources that we've built up till today mean absolutely nothing if we can't scale into the future.
Nope.
And that includes Bitcoin.
That includes Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that's we keep scaling now with ASICs and bigger and more and more and more and more energy too. That's going to have to be addressed at one point, because we can't keep increasing it. We already know with AI coming now on and play as well, energy is going to be key. They who have the energy to run all the power for the AI, they're going to have to. They're winning in the end, of course.
You
And
know?
then you have Bitcoin as well, with all the ASICs hugging all the power. So it's
And data centers, massive data centers. I mean, there's a major issue right now, and that is the fact we can't build data centers fast enough for the AI demand.
No,
This
we
is where
passed that already.
This is where Flux comes into play, because what's the biggest holdback of these data centers? Power.
Power, location,
Yeah.
and regulatory compliancy pieces as well, especially for data centers as well. It's not an easy thing to just plop a data center somewhere. It comes a lot of paperwork in play as well. And by the way, if you know anybody in France who has a data center spot, let me know. I'm kind of looking for one. But yeah, and I'm also looking forward to the conference and see where AI and compute comes into play as well, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be a topic.
I think it will too, because people are, especially in the Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is going to be used as the payment rails, as the settlement rails, they really need to look at scaling. I did notice today the Taproot was released officially with, you can have.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're
interesting.
gonna be looking at that quite a bit, especially with our upcoming BTC deployment, perhaps.
Yep.
I think it could be some really cool stuff coming there. But yeah, I mean, people, I think they underestimate the fact that they're building and deploying, let's say hypothetically, I don't know exact numbers, but let's say they're deploying 10 data centers a year. Well, we need to be about 500x that.
Yeah, we passed, like I said, the demand has way outpassed at this point and outmatched what's available.
Yeah. Well, and I think that offers a really unique challenge for Flux, because as the AI ecosystem starts to turn on and people start to gravitate more toward open source clients,
Yep.
I think that you're going to see some real demand for Flux there as well.
Well, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about Edge. Where are we at with that?
So I'm not going to leak Alex. I know he's in the chat. So Flux Edge.
I'm not promising.
Well, I'm promising, but I did do this though. Basically, we're at the point where Flux Edge is live, alpha stage. So we're basically limited on what you can deploy so far, Jupyter and all these other fun pieces. I know the team is working very diligently on being able to deploy anything you like, so custom deployments. The moment that happens is the moment.
Well, hold up. That's a pretty big deal right there, right?
That is the main deal.
Yeah.
At that point, anybody.
That's a
can start
game
deploying.
changer.
Yep. At that point, you can deploy anything you like. So you decide the resources, how you decide your resources, your storage pieces. That's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, and that's really going to propel Edge to the next level. The next level. Tell me about where do you see
So Edge today, compared to Edge at the end of the year, is going to be a big difference. And the reason being is that, like I said, there's an entire roadmap that the guys are working on, and the custom one is the big one at the moment. But that's also what I've been flying around for. All of these AI pieces, the medical conferences that I've done, they're all ready to rock and roll. So we have people lined up, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, healthcare seems to be a demand center, that's for sure.
Yep.
Everybody loves the bright and shiny shit, AI and the whole 9 yards, but really what it gets down to is, especially with healthcare, is they're a train wreck and they're looking for a solution. And I think just at a few of your conferences, you saw how fast that caught legs.
Yeah, and I was even showcasing on the floor with limited Wi-Fi and all that fun stuff. We were able to showcase running Jupyter Notebook and a medical piece, and I think I used Richard as example, by the way, that he did on an article on.
Oh right, yeah,
the X-ray one.
Yeah, the X-ray one.
We showcased that with a 1080 on the floor to medical experts. They were
a 1080.
A 1080 Ti.
That's sick. Well,
the first question that I got was like, "Wait, that's an old card, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, I think the actual statement was that's not very fast at first.
That was also the statement.
Yeah.
It's not very fast, David. Like it takes a few.
Well, then do it on more than one card, then, dude. Quit being cheap, right?
That's the thing.
What are you paying, 5 cents for that thing?
5 or 8 cents or something like that for an hour.
Come on.
And it came back in with an answer in a few seconds. So it was not like it was going to make a big difference if it was running on an H100.
Yeah. And of course, there's network optimization pieces coming and all that kind of good stuff. Because I mean, I don't think people understand how quickly we've been iterating since the launch of the alpha. I mean, it's been insane.
Absolutely, and we even have the first H100s that came on the network now too. So that's great to see. We got some professional data centers lined up that want to participate as well. We're not just inflating the numbers with adding all of those just yet, because we want to show what's really presented by you and me.
We want real use case. We want to develop it out that way. And I know I've been watching the Edge chat, watching people get their cards rented, and they've been super excited to see it happen. So
the biggest compliment that we've all gotten, by the way, and that's kudos to the team and the designers and the developers, is that the ease of use.
Oh yeah, that's huge. Yeah,
I gave people access to Flux Edge. They were able to deploy their Jupyter notebook, and they did it all without coming to me back and saying, "Hey, how do I do this? How do I do that?" It was just straight, easy to use. So that's the biggest win for everybody out there.
Yeah, and I would say our alpha is everybody else's release candidates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we've already have what we feel is a fairly built beta at this point in time. So, and I'm not going to promise any dates on the beta, but I would imagine it would be coming pretty soon, especially with custom deployments rolling out as well.
We're going to have a release that's still in alpha just to make sure it's all good. And then I'm not promising any dates here, but I know Alex will give us a solid date at one point.
Yep. Yeah, you guys, if you have questions or something that pops up that we go over, just throw it into the chat. We've got Caroline over there kindly taking...
Well, I see people asking that they want to see HR, so...
CHR, well, she's over there.
She's over there.
Yeah, she's not coming on camera.
Nope.
So I figured, let's talk a little bit about Flux Core.
Sure.
Because that seems like that's been really coming hard. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up with that, additional assets to be added, so on and so forth.
And the biggest thing that for me is that every time, so I travel a lot now, but every time I have a chance just to look at it, it's just remarkable how the thing just keeps on improving. Like I know we have two teams working on Flux Edge and Flux Core. What are they saying?
My little nephew's on there. He's getting ready to.
Oh, hi, Gabriel.
He's in the Air Force, and he's heading to South Korea.
Is he now?
It's for a year.
For a year.
So I'm gonna come see you, brother. I'm gonna come see you.
Well, I'm pretty sure there will be some conferences that we'll be doing in our neighborhood too. So
definitely. So, yeah. Somebody asked us about how do we see our competition earlier, and I would say for Flux Edge, we don't see a lot of competition. We do see some opportunities, and I know people get pissed when you say that because they're like, no, there has to be somebody that's competition. I don't really see it. We've already announced that we're going to add Akash to the platform, to the marketplace.
Yep.
I definitely think you could see us working with a Core AI, a Dynex, other AI components.
There's definitely other providers out there too, and like I said, and I'll keep reiterating, the demand is outpacing what's out there, so we kind of have to decentralize the offering as well. And decentralization is not just one blockchain doing everything decentralized. That means multiple providers providing one solution.
Yeah, and I think one of the things with Flux Core that I'm super proud of is we've heard a lot of really good comments about the fact it's just good mining software. Probably best in class or close to it at this particular point in time.
I love how you use class. That's such a medical term.
Well,
old
medical guy, right? Best in class.
Best in class. That was the thing, right?
And here's the kicker: it's free.
Yeah, we're not charging you anything for it.
Yeah, and I don't believe that we're going to deviate from that for a very long time, if at all. So I think once people get settled in, we have enterprise deployments and so on and so forth. I think you could definitely see this being a heavy hitter from the OS side.
Absolutely, and I will say as well, and this is a bit of a leak, keep an eye, if you have your 30 series and your 40 series, we're working on a big contract right now, and I'm going to need them all. There's a lot that we're going to need. They're asking for a lot of resources. So.
Well, we got a little leak too. We will be next week kicking off Folding at Home. Folding at Home recently deployed their new operating system, and Flux has recently passed AWS on the list of providers. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Nope.
That's awesome. So
that's pretty cool.
So with this contest, I think what we're going to try to do is we're take the number one spot, and I don't see why we couldn't do it. 8,000 plus GPUs just hammering the shit out of Folding at Home. Let's go.
Absolutely.
This is sick. So these are a lot of cool opportunities that'll be coming up as well. So AR said, but there is competition. AR, I do agree with you, but I don't think it comes from a decentralized world. I think it comes from the centralized world. I think you see a lot of products out there that are utilizing data centers that already have existing infrastructure in place.
Should I leak something?
How about it,
small
brother?
league, though. You'd be surprised the players that are interested in Flux to present their compute power to us because they can't get to the masses as they want to because of the three big ones. The three big ones are really actually holding everybody back when it comes to AI, which sounds amazing because hey, there's so much progress happening, but the big ones are actually holding everybody back.
Yeah, and I think what you see definitely as our numbers continue to keep growing and the utilization rate continues to go up, I think you'll see us pull a big part of the decentralized market share. But AR, I do believe that it is coming from the centralized world. I mean, let's face it, the Microsofts, the AWSs, the Googles of the world, they're not going to sit on this sideline and waste their time. Yep. So, I think is Flux the final answer for this compute? I don't think it's the final answer, but I think it works in tandem with what's already existing in Web 2. So yeah, we're pretty excited about where we're at with Flux Edge and Flux Core. Flux OS just had an awesome update as well. We've got the private Dockers that are deployed. We've got a bunch of stuff from Flux OS, and the big one that just came out was
I saw yesterday something really big.
SSP.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so SSP is doing an official multi-sig for ETH with Snore signatures as well. So that's a big freaking deal. Like, not even the Ethereum Foundation has been able to build this.
No. So I know there's some type of multi-sig wallets out there with Ethereum and such, but this is an actual multi-sig wallet.
Yeah, it really works too. Like, I've actually seen it and it actually works and I'm actually using it, which is huge.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it or you haven't updated yet, make sure you do.
Yeah, SSP, I think it's ssp.io. Yeah. If you just go to Google and Google SSP wallet, it'll pop right up. So we're really excited with that. In terms of getting it out of alpha or beta for Flux Core and Edge, are we looking at end of 2024 or more like 2025? If you asked me, I'd say 2024. I don't see a reason why we can't be in release candidate. That's about 6 months. 6 months away, roughly. And if looking at what we've done for the first 6 months of this, now granted, we prepared for it for a year or two ahead of this, but once we start rolling with the iterations, it really is up to, quite frankly, the community and the people that utilize it. Yep. So if you're standing it up and you're helping us test it and you're helping us get rentals on your devices, that's helping us create a better product in the end, and that feedback is paramount.
The feedback is key, right? So I appreciate the community and the Flux Edge chat on the Discord is very active. Love seeing it. I love the criticism in there. I love the feedback we're getting in there. We saw that for Flux Core when we released Flux Core back in, December, I think it was. That helped really propel that piece of software to the point where we are now. The same is happening for Flux Edge. We can test a lot of things. Where we always, and basically what we test is basically what we call the happy path. But it's users that...
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, well. Not that happy path. Oh, God. How long did we make it before we were going a little sideways?
Well, we made
anyway, but it's the community really helping us out with the testing, and it's.
It really comes back to the community holistically, because we could not iterate and develop as fast as we can without that paramount feedback. Because, historically, if anybody's in the technology space or has been in the technology space, you get your minimal viable product and you get internal testing, then you're going to do a beta release. Most people don't do alpha releases, which we do alpha releases solely because we have such a vibrant community that gives us input. It makes sense to release a beta that is basically turnkey.
And you know what? Testing really makes sense. And flying the last few days, I wish somebody would have tested last week as well before they released the patch.
Well, I don't know if Flux didn't go down, buddy.
No, Flux didn't go down. Maybe a few people who ran Windows machines, but...
We had a bunch of people that were actually dual deployed on Web 2 and Web 3. Yeah. They lost their Web 2 side of the world, and Web 3 and Flux just kept on clicking.
Yeah.
So, which is good, because that really is a nice showcase for us to exactly, why Flux is so damn important.
All right.
What are you guys drinking?
I'm drinking a regular Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I'm drinking water, dude. It's too early yet. It's only like...
Well, it's 12:30.
12:30.
Well, $5
I don't know. Let me see. Let's give you an update on Influx, because somebody had asked about the business development side of things. So essentially where Influx is at right now is we are really working hard on basically the new primetime 2.0. So getting marketing and PR in place that we really need desperately, and building that out. And one of those pieces is Davey, who is our business officer. We need a companion person to that, and that will be the salesperson.
Yep.
So we already have a fairly robust business team. We've got Davey, we've got Emmanuel, we've got Richard, we've got other people in that, Bill. So we've got a good team there, and really good. But what we need is somebody who brings a Rolodex, and we've already had applications from Google, and I don't know if I can say this, but anyway.
That's not.
Yeah, but the top, let's say top 100 projects, we've already had a few people come our way and knock on the door. So our goal is to bring somebody in that's not going to be a learn in place. We're going to bring somebody in that's going to hit the ground running and bring their Rolodex with them and be ready to sell our services the way that they should be.
Yeah, because Flux Edge is going to be more than just the Flux Edge marketplace you see in front of you. And like I said, the 30 series, the 40 series that we're going to need, you're going to see at one point job postings kind of like thing. So that's one way of getting sales in. But at one point, we're going to need managed services. There's going to be bigger.
Well, that was my leak.
I know.
But you stole it, whatever.
Okay, no, I did it. So my bad. So. But that's the business model we're going to, right? So we're bridging Web 2, Web 3, and we have to be realistic. You have to bring the Web 2 people into the Web 3 space comfortably, and that is by using Web 2.
Yeah, they need to feel like they're still in Web 2.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep.
So yeah, and that brings up another point too, because Influx, and really people ask, what's the difference between Influx and Flux? Flux is the decentralized protocol that everybody here owns, right? If you own Flux, you own that protocol. Influx is basically, you think Bitcoin and you think Lightning Network, you think Flux, you think Influx. That doesn't mean there can't be other influxes. You could have many more companies that develop, and as a matter of fact, we have a company that's developing WordPress deployments.
Yep.
So, and give a shout out there. Do you remember their name?
No, not at the moment. You put me on the spot. No, Flux Runner. Sorry.
Flux Runner. Yes, Flux. I was testing you. I think you trying to see if you remembered it, because I didn't. So yeah, we've got Flux Runner. We got a bunch of other people that are developing on top of that.
I know there's a company in South America who's building out a Web3 hosting.
Resale too. We were seeing a lot of resellers.
Yeah.
Yes.
There will be other providers using Flux Cloud as their Web3 solution to host.
Yeah.
So
that's a big point there, Davey, because most people, when they ask about how are we selling the business, in the end, it won't be us selling the business.
No.
It's going to be the folks that are already selling Web 2 to Web 3 to be able to provide our services as an entry level, and experienced high-end solution. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, really, you could have one sales team, which is the Influx sales team, or you could have every sales team that's selling compute resources out there. Key. And that's the key. So what we're trying to do is package that up with our, yet to be named salesperson, and we're going to sell it as that. Sell our services in your already existing sandbox, and we'll step right into it.
Yep. So you'll see reseller opportunities, you'll see other pieces as well, but the foundation is made last year, and we're starting to really get traction now.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that ask us about marketing PR. I mean, Influx donated or has basically put up about $2 million to get us to the next level. So we've recently hired a marketing and PR company out of Boston, and we also hired one out of Baltimore that's going to help us with our ad deployment. So you're going to see over the next, I'd say, 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of new ads, especially optimization. We're working on optimization for Google. You'll see Google ads. You'll see us when you put in DPIN and Web3 and decentralized infrastructure. Flux is going to be leading that pack, and that's where we're going to be at. So, a lot of awesome stuff that's happening with Influx. We need that team to really make this succeed. But it's like I tell everybody, don't sit around and wait for us to do something. Build your own business and fucking do it, because that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, it can be any type of business, right? I know that they're hosting guys. They're building out an entire data center.
Hosting, yeah, data center hosting.
So shout out to those guys, because they're doing really great work at this point. So, and that also started with, hey, I got an idea. Let's start working out. So those guys are doing it. I know there's other people doing hosting. I know there's people doing hardware creation at BMO, for instance. It's an entire ecosystem at this point.
Yeah, it really is, and it's going to continue to keep growing. I mentioned the other day, I was on Twitter doing something, and I started to list all the products that Flux offers.
Yep.
And it was mind blowing. Like I had to even like go away and come back and continue it because
I had to do a PowerPoint presentation, so I was starting to add them up, and it was kind of funny because my font size kept going smaller and smaller and smaller because the list was getting bigger and bigger.
So what else do you see? What do you think our target is for this week? So we want to get in front of heavy hitters.
Yep.
We want to be known as the industry experts. So we've got several. As a matter of fact, today we've got several news reporters that are coming.
Yep.
That are going to do some write-ups about the stuff. And our job is to really help push that next level of adoption. What's it going to look like in the future? How are we going to get it there?
I think this week, and it starts today with Cypherpunk, had a kind of a key networking event right before BTC. So we'll have influencers here, we'll have people in the market, we have data center folks here, we got people that do projects on their own. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening here. So.
Okay, AR again says, have the results of your marketing campaign demonstrated a return? That's absolutely. Social metrics are off the freaking charts. And I mean, especially with the wind being sucked out here recently, we've continued to be doing exactly what we want to do. We sponsored the UFL this year. That was a great success. Matter of fact, we've ran TV ads on Fox in the Midwest as testing, and we're really happy with that. So you're going to see more of that. And Flux announced today, it has announced that we are an official sponsor of the IFC, which is the Influencer Fight.
The Karate Combat guys.
Karate Combat is going to be here as well.
Yep, and I think we introduced them last Cypherpunk. I think we were one of the first events where they were showing up.
Yeah, and they're just going like gangbusters. So with the IFC, with some of the things we're doing, somebody asked about demonstrating marketing for sports arenas, and the answer to that is fuck no. We will never put the Flux name on a sports arena because we are wasting your money and ours.
Yeah.
It is absolutely a worthless endeavor. If you don't believe me, ask FTX. We can absolutely sponsor within that stadium, but adding your name to a stadium like that, it doesn't bring value.
If we're that big that we can do and just spend money on such things, I think we were all very happy at that point.
Yeah, well, if we're spending money on naming a sports arena, then we've done really.
Then we've done everything.
Yeah, we've done everything we're supposed to, and then it's just for the lulz.
Yeah.
But I think the average cost is between $5 and $6 million, and trust me, we've looked into it before, and it just didn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to do it.
We could sponsor one stadium and then just call it quits, I guess.
We'll sponsor my little league stadium right up the street from where I live. FluxOS has been fantastic. Push out updates. Any news when we will see more in terms of security updates? For example, checking OS patching, force like Java or Node.js update. Yes, we will be working on that. That's a Trump question.
Yeah, they're already working on that.
Yeah, they're already working on that.
I'll add one thing to that. A big piece when it comes to Flux Edge and FluxOS in general is compliancy. Talking with medical fields, talking with financial folks, the first question they have is, how are you guys on compliancy?
Yeah, compliance is a big piece for us. We're working on our SOC 2 right now, right?
ISO,
HIPAA, PHI, so on and so forth. All the shit they want to say, GDPR. Plus. Yeah, so that's a big deal too there. So we got a couple companies we're working with to help us through that.
Yep.
If we want to get those government contracts at some point too, because there's no reason why the government couldn't run on a decentralized network.
One country already where we actually are an offering as a provider.
As a provider.
Hosting.
Yeah, provider
There's
contract.
one country out there already, and it's kind of a big country too, just FYI.
Alan the King said, did someone see the cards on the AMD cards on the marketplace?
I have not.
Someone see the AMD cards on? No, I didn't either, dude. Is that like legitimate?
Alex's team is now leaking.
Alex, what's that?
Alex's team is leaking stuff, so I guess we do AMD cards now too.
Does Core Edge have any real customers yet? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Mostly our early people that are coming in and deploying some smaller shit and playing with it. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got some researchers already playing with it, do some site testing at this point.
Okay, if you want questions, with the recent CrowdStrike outage, any lessons or process changes Flux made to help mitigate something similar with an update?
See, that's a funny question because these are folks. Look, that was Microsoft.
Yeah.
That's a top 3 company, isn't it?
Well, they're a subsidiary of Microsoft.
Yeah, fair enough.
The thing that doesn't make sense to me, and I'm speaking to all the network administrators out there, who the fuck deploys a patch live? I mean, you have production environments 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, you have your standby environment that should never be patched with the latest patch. That should be always on the previous patch.
It blows my mind. So I think there's more to that outage than what people were letting on to. But that doesn't really become a problem with Flux because we're redundant out of the box. So they're deploying 3 servers immediately. Now, if it would be a Linux exploit or something like that, you could probably see some downtime. But not really. I mean, it's like...
Well, not everybody updates straight away.
Yeah.
Right? And then updates also are staggered throughout the system, throughout the network. That's another piece to it. We try and prevent and make everything as redundant as we can. So. Yeah,
Alex said, mining proven to never update and keep Windows 3.1 seems like a solid option.
Yeah, I believe in DOS. So,
DOS is straight back to DOS. Yeah, no, being built on, as a matter of fact, I got interviewed this past week about the CrowdStrike fiasco.
I didn't know that.
What I said was there's no excuse for it. Whatever they're telling you that they didn't fucking do it. Because there's no way you release patches into production like that.
I love the numbers that Microsoft was tossing out of, 8 million systems affected? It was way more than that.
I would think so. And unfortunately, you got trapped in Europe because of it.
Yeah. That's the other piece of it. The amount of financial damage that was done because of...
It's astronomical.
For myself, I know I spent a couple $1,000s just to get by, just to be able to sleep somewhere.
And Congress is working on having a hearing specifically about why was so much of our infrastructure riding on one supported entity. I was like, well, that's kind of what Flux was built for. And as a matter of fact, with the GBA event that's going to happen in DC, and that's in August.
It's in 2 weeks?
It's in 2 weeks.
Holy smokes.
In August, we're going to have the UN there. We're going to have every Department of Justice, the FBI, you name it. Every single one of them are going to be there to actually get a demo of Flux Edge and Flux OS and how it helps to basically expand what they're doing as well. So could be really, really interesting.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, that's the people we're in front of now. All right.
Ghosty said, had some pre-nodes go down, relaunched in around 3 minutes. Yeah. Davey, hold your mic closer. You're quiet comparatively to me. Well,
he shouts.
I'm kind of loud. So, no, leak. Okay, so we already leaked.
I think we've leaked it already.
Cliff, now the damn comments.
What did you do?
We leaked about
what didn't we leak?
The folding at home deployment contest that's coming, and I think we're giving away like $10,000 for that bad boy.
Now you're leaking again.
Yeah, 10 grand or something like that. I'm going to be deploying some of my stuff, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. I could definitely use that. We also announced that we will be working on managed services through Influx, so that's a big deal. Why is that a big deal? Well, if you got a company that wants to utilize the platform and they want managed services and standard SLA practices and all that development, we'll have those pieces.
And guidance and experts and we announced a salesperson, head of sales.
Head of sales, we're a director of sales. And that director of sales will report to Davey. And
poor guy.
So we're pretty excited to see what comes out of that. Any other questions, folks? We're at 12:51. We'll take a couple more questions if you have them.
And if you're in the neighborhood, if you're in a couple hours away from Nashville and you still want to come
on down, I got you.
We'll hook you up.
Yeah, and Oh, my leg. Sorry, I got this leg shaking thing going on.
We constantly get our shit kicked in here from HR.
I know.
Do this, don't do that.
You can't get away with nothing in this place. So, but anyway, guys, I really appreciate you jumping on today. We will be live streaming some things later on, and you'll probably see some friendly faces pop up in here and there. Mm-hmm. So keep this whole channel open, so to speak. We can't keep the live stream going, can we?
I can keep the live stream open.
Okay, well, we could do that, and then that way we'd just jump in when we want to jump in.
Or we can shut it down and we announce that we are going live again. We can do both. Or
let's do that. We'll just do that.
How about this? Let's keep it running. And every time we want to make sure that people are come in, we'll announce it on the Discord that we are doing something. We'll do it that way.
Hold on, I want to make sure I answered all the questions.
Yeah, if there's any questions that we missed, or remarks, or wittiness, and I'm looking at you, Alex, for that.
In terms of getting out alpha and beta, no, we talked about that. Yep. HR, competition. I don't know. Okay, well, that's about it. What it says, will you also record additionality to live stream time zones? Yeah. Hey, can we get Davey strapped with a GoPro and the POV of the event? I don't know. I got to worry about that.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, he'll be running around like crazy. One thing that we didn't talk about was Zelcore, and Zelcore is coming along quite nicely as well. We do have an announcement coming within the next couple weeks. Leak. Alephium will be added to Zelcore.
I haven't even told Maud yet.
Yeah, well, now she knows.
I promised her, but...
Yeah, so we'll be adding Alephium. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about in Leak real quick, and this is the first time you're hearing this, is the fact that we will be... Folks keep asking about the BTC drop. The answer to that question is we are in the process of actually adding 2 new assets. So not only Bitcoin, but the TON network as well. Whichever one gets added first
will be
number 10. So our goal is to get that out ASAP so people can deploy more nodes and infrastructure. So we're kicking ass. Bitcoin was a little bit clunkier than what we thought.
Yeah.
Shocking, right?
But
but the TON network, if you guys haven't checked it out, because I didn't know much about it until I really started getting into it, pretty awesome shit, man. It's really good.
But I'm kind of curious now.
I see them as settlement mechanisms and all kinds of stuff. So check it out. I mean, it's actually pretty interesting. So Bitcoin, definitely. TON network, definitely. Which one is number 10? It's a race to the finish. So we'll know for sure probably within the next week or so. AR said, keep working hard. Thanks, AR. Appreciate that, brother. And Zelcore will be adding other assets as we go as well. So our goal is to get everything added to Flux Core, added to Zelcore as well.
That's the idea, yeah.
And one of the things that we are going to announce coming up within the next week or so is clear pricing structures. So we're actually going to allow people to either deploy their own infrastructure to Zelcore and be added for free.
Yep.
Or if they want us to add it with block explorers, we can do that for a fee.
What's that called again? That's managed services.
Managed services, yeah. And then of course, then there's the big one which you get, featured as a premium asset in Zelcore. Transparent pricing is huge for us because people ask a lot of times, what's it cost to get added to Zelcore? And the answer is nothing. However, we have enough work on our plate that what we're going to do is set it up so people can deploy it themselves.
Yep.
And if they don't want to do that and they want to pay the cost of a developer to add it,
start a project.
That's all we're making. We're not looking to make money on it. We're just looking to add your assets and let you get in for free. So, or a little cost to get you added. So that transparent pricing, that'll be coming within the next 2 weeks, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I think that we leaked a lot for an impromptu AMA.
Yeah, we did. Okay, everybody, thanks again for everything. I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk this week. We're going to go live. We're going to try to go live from the conferences at some point, but I think the security is pretty crazy there. So
there's some big figures coming. So we get a lot of emails at the moment that there's a lot more security. So we'll try. No promises, but if we can make it and we can go on the floor. With the camera, we'll definitely do it.
Awesome, guys. Did the self addition for project wallets get sorted out? Did the self addition for project wallets get sorted out? I don't know what that means, dude. I'm assuming you maybe mean Zelcore and projects being able to add themselves. Our goal is for Zelcore to go open source as well, so we should see that very, very soon and have fun. And I think he likes the approach on transparency. So, that's us. That's what we do. I mean, there's no sense in trying to hide shit. You guys are the community. You're as much of a vital part of it as me and Davey. I mean, somebody said the other day they wanted to get rid of me, and I said, hey, that's fine.
Viva la revolution.
Yeah, Viva la revolution. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. Shit or get off the pot, man. Let's go. but that doesn't mean I'm going away.
No, we get banned then.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining, and we'll see you soon.